Straight out to CNN correspondent Jim Spellman, live on the scene. Jim, what is the latest?
That's right. She came out this morning on the Today Show, admitted that she was drunk the night that baby Lisa disappeared. Later that afternoon, high-powered New York attorney Joe Tacopino shows up on the scene to take over handling the story and immediately lays out two possible scenarios of how her being drunk could affect it. One, she's too blacked out, doesn't hear somebody break into the house. And two, if she was so drunk, could she pull off something like this? Trying to hit the reset button on this story and change public perceptions. Jane?
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, People magazine had an astounding article where they interview the mother, and she said some things that are actually quite disturbing to me. Steve Helling, your staff writer with People magazine, give us the lowdown on your article, which really is riddled with bombshells.
Well, yeah, actually, we asked, how much had you drank? And she didn't know. She couldn't tell us. And so we said, was it more than 5 glasses of wine? She said, yes, it was. And so the reporter said, is that a problem? I mean, you were drunk. And her answer was, well, I don't have any problem with having alone adult time. My baby was sleeping. So it was a really weird answer to give.
Does she admit having any kind of drinking problem? Because my understanding is from some published reports that this wasn't a one-time only occurrence, that this had happened before, possibly on a regular basis.
Well, no, she was more just trying to explain it away, saying, it was my own time. It didn't have anything to do with anything. And, I don't remember what happened, but I didn't do anything wrong. That's basically her take on the whole thing.
Well, I find that kind of shocking, Pat Brown, criminal profiler, the lack of remorse. I'm not saying she did anything untoward to her child, but if she's had more than 5 drinks, she said it's quite possible, probable that she had more than 5 drinks, that she has no recall of whether she turned the lights off or not, or whether she went back to the baby's room. And yet she defends this as saying, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm having some adult time. Hello? She's got 3 kids, including a helpless baby, a 6-year-old boy, and an 8-year-old boy under her care. Look at this baby. We're looking at video of this baby. This baby is completely, utterly helpless, dependent on an adult caregiver. How can she say that she doesn't see anything wrong with getting essentially wasted?
Well, Jane, that is concerning that she has no remorse or thinking that she's done something wrong. And she also has no remorse over the fact that she clearly is telling a different story now. So that means she's either lying before or she's lying now. Is another possibility that she didn't get drunk and she's using this as a defense. And I'd like to know when that 911 call was made and when the police moved in, was she, trash drunk when they showed up? Or was she really not that drunk? And is this just something new that is going to be the cover for whatever happened?
Well, you know what? You raise an astounding point that I never thought of until just this second. I wonder if when the 911 call was made, she got on it at all, and was she slurring her words? Do you know anything about that? Alexis Tereszczuk, senior reporter, Radar Online. We know that a 911 call was ultimately made, but we do not know, to my understanding, whether she was on the call herself or whether it was her husband who had come home from working the night shift at about 4 in the morning.
So what we understand that it was her husband who made the phone call. It wasn't her. He, in fact, woke her up. According to everything that we've learned, he went in the house. He saw the lights were on. He noticed the baby's door was open. The baby wasn't there. That's when he went and woke her up. She didn't even notice this. But from what we heard, it was the husband that called. They're not going to release the 911 call, I guess, until there's a resolution to this case. But from all reports, he is the only one on the call.
All right, we have more of the mother sound, the mother talking, the mother of this missing child. Let's hear of what she has to say.
Were you drinking that night?
Yes.
How much?
Enough to be drunk.
So you were drunk? Mm-hmm. A lot of people are going to say, Deborah, you were drunk that night. Is there any chance you did anything that hurt your daughter that you're just not telling us?
No. And if I thought there was a chance, I'd say it. No. I don't think that alcohol changes a person enough to do something like that.
Well, that's baby Lisa's mother on NBC's Today Show. And again, I want to stress that The police are saying they have no suspects in this case and no persons of interest. So this mother is not a suspect. And we do not want to in any way point the finger at her. We are simply analyzing her words. And I have to say, as a recovering alcoholic with 16 years of sobriety myself, and hopefully, knock on wood, if I get to April, I'll have 17. I know what blackouts are like. I've experienced them. And you do not remember what happened after a certain time. Oh, I remember I was at the party at 9:30 and I remember dancing, but I don't remember how I got home. That's how it works when you're in a blackout. And I explain that to people because not everybody knows. Dr. Helen Morrison, a forensic psychiatrist and author of My Life Among the Serial Killers, not everybody knows what a blackout even means. What it means is you're there, but you're really not there. So when she says, well, I don't think alcohol makes you do anything different and it doesn't change your personality, the fact is if you're in a blackout, you don't know what's happening, correct?
Absolutely. And what happens is a blackout basically means that you don't form memories. You don't wake up after you've had a blackout and say, oh, I remember what I did. But the people around you will tell you everything that you did. You look normal. You can act normal. You can do very complex things, and you can also say to yourself, well, gee, I just don't remember, and that's absolutely true, and that memory does not come back.